Hello, welcome to the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 217. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. This is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new.
217 episodes.
Yeah.
50 followers. Crushing.
Yeah, sure. We have 28 on YouTube now.
20 on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking cruising up.
Dude, that went up by 7 people this week alone.
Dang, dude.
Mm-hmm.
In no time,
Mm-hmm.
we'll just be huge.
I feel like our chairs just slowly go further and further apart.
From each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way. Because this arm used to be all the way out.
Mm-hmm.
But, whatever. What's up? What's new?
We got new mic stands.
We did.
They're so much nicer and the exact same price as the other ones.
Yeah, dude. So here's the deal. We thought Yeti was the ticket.
Yep.
And...
Well, because we have Blue Yeti microphones. So we're like, well, we'll get the stand that goes with the microphones.
Mm-hmm. Foolish.
Mm-hmm.
These Rode arms. Way better.
Superior.
You bet.
Mm-hmm.
What else new?
We got a new bookshelf coming.
Nice.
So the backdrop will kind of change a little bit.
Sam just thought it'd be cool to just start taking my rewards on the credit card and start buying shit.
Someone's got to use them.
So here we are.
Hmm?
New mic stands. Fucking new bookshelf.
He told me I couldn't get the thing that I really wanted, though.
Yeah, that was like $700, right?
Yeah.
I said, get fucked. That ain't happening, dog.
If we get an office, though, I'm def getting it.
Dude, I was thinking about it, real talk, about the price of having an office. It's just like not cheap.
No. Not at all.
That's like essentially a $20,000 expense a year for the business, which is kind of
Which, what are we paying right now? $300 a month?
$400,
So that's already...
5 times the amount.
Yeah. But we're getting 5 times the space. Actually, more than that.
Way more than 5 times the space.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like 10x the space.
Mm-hmm.
When you factor in the garages, the sheds, the parking, and then 2,200 square feet office.
Because there's what? 5 actual offices?
Yeah.
Plus like a living space.
Yeah, who knows? We still gotta accept the counter offer.
That's true.
Or submit an offer. I don't fucking know. Or
Yeah.
submit our own counter.
Anyways, what are we learning about today, Shaun?
All right, guys. Here's the deal. I want to apologize in advance. I did like a few hours of research this morning.
Oh, yeah. Shaun's been going ham.
And what I'm trying to find, so I'm going to start out with what I've been hearing on different shows I've been listening to and things like that. What I've been hearing, and I've heard this on multiple different sites, or like multiple different podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever, that it costs the average American $9,500 more a year to live now in 2023 than it did before the pandemic in 2019. Okay? And so I'm like, okay, sick. I want to find evidence to back this up. So I spent over 3 hours this morning trying to do that. I was not successful.
Yeah, not at all.
I looked at probably over 15 different sources, read through 20 articles, looked at labor statistics. I looked at the census. I looked at world population, Social Security, you name it. And the Federal Reserve, White House, different news sources. I could not get an actual median for cost of living for 2019. I could not get an actual median for cost of living for 2022. I could not get it for so far for 2023. However, it did tell me that they did tell me what it costs on average for 2023. As of now, the average cost of living for 2023. Then, one of the last articles I was reading, which was published in September of 2022, stated the same numbers, the same percentages and everything for 2020. And that was the actual published amount for 2020 when the world was shut down. Which then the same article, which actually backed up other stuff I had found that I didn't think was real, but now I know is real, or I think might be real, that in 2019 the average cost of living was $64,000. But if you look, the first thing that pops up on Google, this is on world population. This is where I got a lot of the stats from for today's show. We'll go over it because these stats are backed up. These are the stats for 2020. So I'm going to read you guys off the stats of 2020, which is actually less than 2019 for living. Couple reasons it's less, okay? Mm-hmm. Fuel prices were at an all-time low. Pandemic, locked at home, travel was down.
Yeah.
Okay. And housing prices didn't start going crazy yet. So we'll tackle that. I'm going to continue looking to get real numbers for everybody. But I'm just going to go off of what I was told, the median, or what I've heard, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to just go on this for 1 minute, and then I'm going to go into the stats. It said it costs $9,500 more a year to live now than it did in 2019, okay? So the median salary, this is what the median salary is claimed to be. Median household income of $67,521, okay? So that's what the median household income is, 65. So we would, if you figure on, you got to add an extra. So median household income of 67,000. So if the average household in the U.S., this is what I found for 2020 World Population Review. Average household in the U.S. spends $61,334 a year on expenses. Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's just take that 63,000, add the 9,500 onto it. We got 70,834. So median household income, I don't know if that's actually gone up. I don't know what the truth is behind any of that. But if this is the case, the median household income currently, or for all the sources I found, was $67,521. That would mean our after-tax money, okay, our after-tax money that we're going to spend this year is $70,000, okay? Mm-hmm. But keep in mind, this is from 2019, which was actually $64,000, not 2020. So we actually have to use the $64,000 figure plus the $9,500. So $64,000 plus $9,500, $73,500 is most likely what it's going to cost you after taxes for a family of two to live this year. Okay. Damn. So you and I, it'll cost us on average, and it's not average, it's median. So it's 50% of people live lower than this or spend less than this. 50% of people spend more than this. The reason we don't use averages or the mean is because you get the crazy outliers that really influence this significantly, as in homeless people, okay, and the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musks, Warren Buffett's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you get rid of the super polar opposites.
Yeah.
50% or less, 50% make more. So our median we're going to spend this year, $73,500, and this is if we go off the numbers that I've been hearing on other sources because I can't find anything published. But we make Gross 65,000 or 67,251. That's gross. So babe, on the like low side, we get taxed at a rate of 0.25. Right? 25% of our income's taxed at a minimum for that.
Yeah.
So that's going to put us at a 50,438 after tax. Well, if we go ahead and we subtract that by the 73,500, we're negative $23,000 in spending this year.
Yep.
Here's the deal, guys. This is just from like fucking, who knows if that's the actual sources, whatever, who knows anything. I don't know anything. I don't trust any of these places. Here's why I don't trust them. The 2019 stats I was able to find included all workers full-time and part-time from 15 years of age and up. Mm-hmm. The stuff I could find in 2022 and 2023 only included full-time. It excluded all part-time workers, and it was from age 25 and up. So we excluded all part-time workers. Well, how many parents are part-time workers?
Most.
I wouldn't say most, but a lot, right? Like, there's a lot of parents who are part-time workers, especially like moms in the first 5 years of their child's lives might be part-time. So it excludes all those people. It also excludes all the kids going to school, like going to college, going to high school, because the kids going to high school, they're spending, like the kids that go to high school and make money on their own, they are helping their parents' food budget. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But so we're going to take that out of the factor now? Right. Doesn't make sense. I don't like it. So it is very difficult, and I encourage all of you, if you have an extra 5 hours to fucking blow away, try to get the same type of studies from 2019 into 2022 and 2023. Yeah. I was not successful. I could not find it. I'm going to keep working on it. But here's what we're going to roll into for the fun of it. We're going to roll into some of these stats. We'll just go over the stats. Now, the median house, baby, you roll. Can you just roll for a minute on some random shit while I look something up?
Roll on some shit.
Just random anything.
Man, I don't know. We were talking about how, like, in Eau Claire specifically, housing prices have been very interesting, because when we bought our first house, we got very lucky with the first house. But all the other ones we looked at, it was about $180,000 for a 3-bed, 2-bath, 4-bed, 2-bath that needed updating. And I remember we thought we were crazy if we were going to get that. And then nowadays it is like 220, or they'll be listed at like 200, but they get bid up to like 220, 230. So I mean, that's just in the span of, and it's like the exact same thing. Older ranches that still need updating. So now you have to put the same amount of work into it, but all the cost of all those materials have gone up significantly as well. So before you might only have to put in $20,000 of work to update an entire house. Now you probably have to put in $30,000 to $40,000 to update a house. So I mean, if you combine both of those, before we would have been paying $200 with rehab. Now you'd be at $220, $260. So I mean, and that's obviously not based on any statistics or facts, but it is something that like we have noticed in the Eau Claire market specifically, that the houses, the prices have gone up, but the quality of them has not gone up. And then the materials that you need to fix them have also obviously gone up. Do you need more time?
No, all right, so here we go. So this is census.gov. So the highlights of it: real median household income was $70,784 in 2021. This includes full-time and part-time year-round workers. Okay. So that's gross. Mm. So even if we take that figure, the $70,784, and we subtract it from the 73,500 that is estimate. That's like what I've been hearing is the estimate. You're at 70,784 times 0.75. That's what you get after taxes, 53,088. And you subtract your 73,500, so you're still negative $20,412. Even if we went off of the lowest cost of the lowest year of living, which was during the pandemic, you're still negative 8,246. So it ain't looking too hot out there for everybody.
No.
But we know prices of things have increased a lot more drastically since 2021 until now.
Yeah.
All right, gang, so let's roll into this. So, as of 2023, according to the Social Security Administration, there's a new cost of living adjustment. Okay, the Social Security cost of living adjustment was 8.7% in January for starting out 2023. That means that from 2022, they increased it by 8.7% for what they figured 2023 was going to perform. This is the largest increase since 1981. This is to help Social Security payments going out to beneficiaries on pace with inflation. Okay. How many Americans roughly will receive these benefits, do you think? Social Security benefits.
10%?
10%. Not quite. How many people are there in the U.S.? Roughly 330 million.
Sure.
U.S. population. I'll just type this in real quick. U.S. population. 331.9 mil. Okay, 331 million. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, 331 million divided by...
He's doing some quick calculations on his calculator.
Yeah, please, sorry for bear with me, everyone.
He can't multitask, and I came up with an answer he wasn't ready for.
21%.
Holy hell.
21% of Americans roughly receive Social Security benefits, or a number between 66 and 70 million. So roughly 66 to 70 million Americans receive Social Security benefits. Now, 1 out of 5 of those is Social Security disability. 4 out of 5 is just Social Security. Make sense?
Yeah.
From like retirement and age. Okay. So why does that matter, guys? Why that matters is, are we making 8.7% more to cover that extra amount going into Social Security? I don't know that answer. I couldn't find that answer. That would mean that wages have had to go up 8.7% from 2022 to 2023 just to try and cover that, which we don't even cover the amount going out every year in Social Security.
Right.
Anyway, so whatever. So I just thought that was kind of fun to see for us that working class Americans, we are trying to support 70 million people on Social Security, and they're getting an 8.7% increase in their income to not work, when I do not believe the average citizen is getting 8.7% increase in their wages.
No, not
from 2022 to 2023. If you've gotten an 8.7% increase in your salary this year, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
That'd be sick to know.
Props to you, too, as well.
All right, so here's some stats from World Population Review as of June 2023, which they are taking the same exact stats from the year end of 2020. Average household in USA spends $61,334 a year on expenses. Okay. On average, 35% of spending, or roughly $1,785 a month, is dedicated to housing or housing-related costs. Keep in mind, guys, I'm rounding up because I'm rounding up.
What was that? Sorry, what was that number again?
So, 35% of your spending, or roughly $1,800 a month, is dedicated to housing or housing-related costs.
Got it.
The median price of a single family home in the U.S. is $275,000. The nationwide average for a 2-bed apartment is $1,150 a month. Okay. Average American household spends 16% of their money on transportation, which is roughly $10,000 a year. Healthcare, we're spending roughly $5,000 annually, which I thought that was pretty low.
Yeah.
Household spending $5,000 annually, pretty cheap.
Yeah, that is.
Eating out, food and groceries, we're looking at $7,300 a year, or roughly $600 a month.
That's pretty low too, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty. I was like, oh, $600 a month for food. That's not crazy.
No.
Average utility cost. This would be heating and cooling of house, water, sewer, electric, your phone, your TV,
Trash.
That's $370 a month. I thought that was kind of low when you factor in like phone and TV and shit.
Yeah, that seems very low.
It seems pretty low. But this is in 2020, remember. Oh, guys, I'll get to this in a little bit. I did find a place that told me how much fuel has gone up in the past couple of years. So we'll get to that in a minute here. Average utility cost at $370. I thought that was pretty low. Granted, this is based off 2020. 2020 median household income is $67,521 a year. We just saw, if the Census Bureau is telling us the truth, it's actually $70,300 something as of 2021.
Yeah.
Individual median income. So that was household income was $67,521. Individual median income is $35,805. That's of 2021. That's U.S. Census Bureau as of 2021 is $35,805 per individual. That's not a lot of money.
No.
That's like $18 an hour for 40 hours a week.
After tax?
Oh, so individual median income, $35,000 a year is $17.50 an hour, roughly.
Is it really?
Yeah, I believe so. Does that seem right?
I don't know.
Oh.
I feel like I always made more than that, but I guess I forgot I get overtime.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's without overtime.
700 times 52. So if you do 50 weeks a year, $17.50 an hour, 40 hours a week for 50 weeks a year.
52 weeks?
Well, I'll go 52 weeks. 36,400. So roughly $17 an hour.
Yeah, okay.
So median income, $35,800, so roughly $17 an hour is median pay. Living wage for U.S. with a family of 4. This threw me off quite a bit. After tax money, $68,800.
That's how much you need to live?
That's how much it costs to support a family of 4.
Okay.
But for a family of 2, or for the average household, I guess that's average household. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. This is where I was getting a lot of different information. A lot of the stuff for today's, like 2023, that I was finding was basing things off of a 2-income house. There was 2 people living in a house, no kids, just 2 people living in a house.
Yeah.
So a family of 4, the average for a family of 4 is $68,800. Are you tired, Sam? Are you tired? Mm-hmm. You literally look like you're falling asleep.
Yep.
Do you not enjoy this? Are you not entertained?
I'm loving every minute of this, guys.
Honestly, this is so much more fun to me.
We have different types of fun.
All right, so cost of living index. Okay, so pretty much what we're figuring out here, we are very similar in gross median income. Okay, so like what your salary is, your gross pay. Mm-hmm. Not your afterpay. So your gross pay is very close to what the median home is spending after tax money a year.
Yeah.
So we are just what we're spending compared to what we're bringing in is roughly 25% off if we figure taxes accounts for 25%.
Yeah.
So it's pretty big.
Does it though? Because isn't it, if you're under like 80,000, don't you only pay like 12%?
Yeah, you only pay 12% federal, but then we live in Wisconsin, so we're going to pay 4% state. We're going to pay 6.2% for Social Security. We're going to pay 1.45% for Medicare.
Okay, yep, you can stop there. Yep.
Alrighty, gang. Moving on to cost of living index. This is actually kind of fun, and I like this a lot. So, cost of living refers to the amount needed to cover basic expenses, such as food, shelter, transportation, and healthcare. This varies significantly depending on the state you're in or the region, the country, whatever. Cost of living index is used for many things, including employers determining what wages are, individuals or families looking to move to a different state for a job opportunity, what it's going to cost there. The Social Security determining what Social Security benefits should be in each part of the state or each part of the country, and then other things. How do they figure it out? How do they calculate cost of living index, right? Mm-hmm. So what to do is they get a baseline for the U.S. So pretty much the numbers I just went over, that's the baseline. So the 61,000 cost of living, the 67 annual income. That's our baseline, right? So they make this baseline, and baseline is a score of 100. Okay, so 100 is your baseline for cost of living index, and then each state gets their own score. Mm-hmm. So, for example, a state with a cost of living index of 200 costs twice as much to live as the baseline of the U.S. A place with an index score of 50 is half of the national average cost, right? Okay. Just so you know, there's no place that's 200 and there's no place that's 50. Okay. The lowest index is Mississippi at 85.3. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's 85% of the baseline to live in Mississippi. The highest is Hawaii.
Not surprised.
Not even a little bit. At 179. So Hawaii's baseline's 179. What do you think Wisconsin is?
We got a couple bigger cities. What was Mississippi at?
85.3.
I'll go with 122.
95.
Shit. I figured it was kind of down there. No offense. I mean, not really many people want to live in Wisconsin. A lot of people have summer houses here, and that's about it. So, if you get much outside of like north of Eau Claire, it's a lot of just woods and small towns. Mm-hmm. No more big cities. Should I go heat up my cup of coffee while you keep going?
Yeah, if you want. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. I'm going to get into the CPI inflation calculator. This is from in 2013 dollars is the source here. So we are going from a start year of 2019 to an end year of 2023. So what is the value of $1 from 2019 compared to 2023? The equivalent of the purchasing power is roughly 1.19 today, an increase of 0.19 or 19 cents over 4 years. The dollar had an average inflation rate of 4.52% per year between 2019 and today, producing a cumulative price increase of 19.34%. This means today's prices are 1.19 times as high as the average prices in 2019. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a dollar today only buys 84% of what it could have bought in 2019. So, 2023, Bureau of Labor Statistics, Consumer Price Index, the dollar today only buys 84% of what it could back then. Inflation rate in 2019 was 1.76. Current inflation rate today is 2.97. As you guys know, we had inflation up in the 8% earlier in the year. If this number holds true for the rest of the year, $1 will be equivalent to $1.03 next year, based off of today's compared to next year. So we'll see how that goes out for everybody. All right. Buying power, we went over that. That was awesome. So, inflation rate compared to dollar. Okay, so in 2019, we were basing off of the $1, right? Inflation rate of 1.76%. Okay, which we just said the current inflation is 2.97. So, from 2019, it's a 1.76 inflation rate. 2020, our dollar value is $1.01. Inflation rate 1.23. Very good. 2021, if you guys remember, we started printing money. In the end of 2020, we really started printing money. 2021, we ramped up printing money. 2022, we really ramped up printing money, and we've thus came down from that. But so in 2021, we're at $1.06, or which equaled to a 4.7% inflation rate. So 2021 ended with a 4.7% inflation rate. Keep in mind that is Biden's first term. He started in 2021. So we went from a 1.76% inflation in 2019. We had a 1.23% inflation in 2020. 2021, we had a 4.7% inflation. 2022, so our dollar value now jumped to $1.14. So that was because of an 8% inflation in 2022. So Biden's second year in office, he gave us a beautiful 8% inflation. And as of today, okay, or as of like last week when they came out with the inflation rate of 2.97, we are on track for an inflation rate this year of 4.26%, which brings our dollar value to 1.19, so $1.19 compared to a dollar. So we've had roughly 19% inflation is what this is telling us. We've had 19% inflation from 2019 till June of 2023. So that was kind of cool. That was fun. Mm-hmm. Sam, what you missed out on was that the Bureau of Labor Statistics came out and they said that a dollar today only buys 84% of what it could in 2019. Oof. So roughly 16% decrease in our money.
That's a big oof.
That's a little bit of an oopsies.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. All right. Inflation by spending category. So this is CPI is the weighted combination of many categories of spending that are tracked by the government. Breaking down these categories helps explain the main drivers behind price changes. So this is fun. This is like what I like is the CPI, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Between 2019 and 2023, gas prices. So guys, this is going to be more accurate for what the cost of things are now than the other shit I was sharing. And this is what I was excited for today. Was this? Gas prices increased from $2.29 a gallon in 2019 to $3.71 a gallon in 2023. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Bread prices increased from $1.27 a loaf to $1.94 a loaf. Milk went from $2.43 a gallon to $3.95 a gallon.
Oh.
Egg prices per carton went from $1.55 a carton to $2.22. A pound of chicken went from $1.47 to $1.95. And electricity went from 14 cents a kilowatt hour to 17 cents a kilowatt hour. So inflation by category, okay? Mm-hmm. Total inflation for food and beverages is up 23.5%.
Oh, man.
Housing is up 19.14%. Apparel is up 5.69%. Transportation is up 25.83%. Medical care is up 10.04%.
They didn't get hit by anything. Why the fuck are they increasing?
Because they can.
Anyways, okay.
Recreation is up 12.51%. Education and communication is up 5.45%. And other goods and services is up 17.59%. Do you love that?
That's insanity.
So, the big ones. What's our number one expense? Housing.
Yeah.
Okay? Our number one expense is housing, and that is up 19.14%.
So that's for like people that rent or like just bought a house?
That's all housing. That's renting and buying. So housing prices housing to live is up 19%.
Because like people that bought their houses in 2019 or 2020 with the low interest rates,
Yeah.
it hasn't increased for them that much, right? Like taxes and insurance hasn't gone up that much.
No, that's like what's happened to prices, like.
So people who like mainly who are renting, or if you're buying a house now, right?
Housing experienced an average inflation rate. So that's the inflation. That's how housing costs. Yeah, it's just how much housing has inflated. So the price, so renting and owning. So if you were to buy now, like if you were to buy or rent now compared to buy or rent in 2019.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which makes sense. Look at like we bought our first house in 2018, and now we got this one in 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference. All right.
Big difference.
So your most expensive, as we went over, was housing. Second is food and beverage. Or food, that's up 23.52%.
Yeah.
And then our third biggest cost is transportation, and that's up 25.83%. So if we look at our three biggest expenses in life, it's up on average in the low 20s.
Yeah. And I will say though, right, like if there's probably a small percentage of people that are lucky out there that bought their houses in 2020. So they got a good price and a good interest rate. Maybe they work from home, right? So they don't actually have to like use a whole lot of transportation. So then the only thing that went up for them is food.
Yeah.
There's probably a very small percentage of people that like are lucky that got only food is affecting them. Because then you have to think there's like people out there.
Wait, you said something about transportation too?
They probably work from home or something.
Oh, work from, okay, thank you.
So they don't have to like go drive around as much.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
But that's a small percentage of people.
Very small.
But so you got to think of most people, their rent went up or their mortgage went up. Their car payment, because if you had to get a new car, car prices went out of the world.
Yeah, through the goddamn roof.
Plus gas. And food prices went up.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder why people are struggling.
Right.
Insanity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
There's a 50-30-20 rule. Have you heard of that?
Probably, but
so 50-30-20 is 50% of your gross pay should go towards your essential expenses, housing, food, utilities, like your essentials, right? And transportation. And then 30% should be for like leisure, enjoyment, whatever. And then 20% goes to savings.
Yeah, that makes sense.
50-30-20. There's other rules, so which we'll get into that in a minute. But so there's other rules like for buying houses and other ways of savings and shit.
Yeah, and I don't think those numbers are the same. So when Shaun and I looked like for houses, it was what, 3 times your yearly salary is what you should get.
So there's a 30 30 30 33. You shouldn't buy a house that's more than 30% of your after income your net pay. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't buy a house more than your monthly payment should not be over 30% of your net pay. You should have 30% of the home's price saved, 20% to put down on the loan, 10% for savings if something happens catastrophic. And then 3, you should not buy a home that's more than 3 times your salary. Mm-hmm. So it's the 30-33 rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was just or we only heard the 3 times your salary, or 3 years worth of your salary.
Yeah.
Which we're like, Robin fits that bill perfectly.
Yeah. I will say, guys, sometimes I mix up my gross and net pays. As far as like there's so many different like rules and so many different like articles and shit to go off of, and some of them are like, oh, this is gross, and some are net, and I sometimes get mixed up. But yeah, those are like the rules. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I think it's your gross pay. You should not pay more than 3 times your gross pay for a home.
And see, I think like right with food prices and gas prices gone up so much, like I feel like that's even hard. And like interest rates are higher now. So
yeah, so we can go. We'll do a talk on like getting full in depth on all that, on like how to buy a house and how to figure a house. Do you have any last stuff to wrap up? How much shit's gone up?
I'm guessing you have more to continue off of.
No, I'm done.
Oh,
I'm done.
Okay. No, I mean everyone can. It's easy to see the prices going up. I mean, we can go into conspiracy theories, but we'll save that for a talk episode.
Just give me a little dab of conspiracy.
Farms having random fires.
Yeah. It's weird how like big farms there wasn't many explosions and fires, but for some reason, as of lately, there's been a lot of big explosions and fires on farms, causing a lot of casualties.
And bird flu or pigs dying from a heat stroke.
Wild.
Something
that's also crazy is so there are certain countries, one of them being Ecuador, that has a lock on fuel prices, okay? Now, I don't know exact amounts, but diesel fuel in Ecuador is around $1.70 a gallon. Diesel is around $1.70 a gallon. For perspective, it's $3.59 right now in Wisconsin.
A gallon or a liter?
A gallon. Okay? A gallon. I made sure. A gallon. And what is unleaded right now?
I think it just went up to $3.69.
$3.69? Wait, what's diesel then?
Diesel, it went up to, it's like $4.17. I just saw it yesterday.
Wait, diesel's $4.17?
Yeah.
Motherfuck, dude. All right, sorry, guys. Diesel's around $4.17. Then regular gas is $3.69. Regular unleaded. In Ecuador, it's like $2.40 or $2.50 a gallon.
Dang, dude.
But so apparently their country has locks on what fuel prices can be. So when they tried to increase them, like the U.S. did in like 2021, the country just shut down. The whole country shut down, quit operations. 1 week, it was less than 1 week. They're back to full operations. Gas prices didn't increase over like the little bit they could.
That's so cool.
Yeah, because the whole country was just like, good fucking joke, dude. We won't run then. Mm-hmm. And the country is just like, oh, we can't do that. But this is just what I fucking listen to and read on like other countries. So this is what I was hearing on Ecuador, right? So, but think if the U.S. did that. When gas prices started going up, everybody in the U.S. was just like, gas over $3 a gallon? Okay, we're done working. Mm-hmm. Everybody quit going to work. The country less than 1 week, everything would be back.
That's like one thing I hate about the U.S. being so big. So, like, our capital, right, is all the way on the East Coast. Mm-hmm. So, you're not going to have the whole country striking or doing anything because it takes people fucking 48 hours to drive across to the state capital or to the capital. But you hear about like a lot of European countries. There was a huge riot and shit in France recently over, I don't remember, to be honest. I know Germany at one point, they were going to start charging university students tuition because they have free tuition there.
Correct. Yep.
They were going to start charging tuition, and it was like a small amount. It wasn't, from what I know, it wasn't a whole lot. And all the students went on strike. And so the country was just like, yep, we'll keep it for free then for you. So that's one shitty thing is we're not like prideful or like we don't strike in the right way, right? We have all these protesters and shit, but they're all violent or really have no purpose. And we have all these corrupt politicians that don't listen to you anyways. But like let's say if the politicians' Secret Service were all just like, yeah, fuck you guys, like, you're really fucking over the country. Then I bet you they'd start fucking listening. Because there's no one to protect them.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I think there is definitely certain issues with having too big of countries. I don't know full answers on this, but what are like the biggest countries?
The U.S., Russia,
China, Canada, China.
I don't know how big China is.
But I mean, per capita, it's the biggest, not size. But,
I mean population-wise?
Yeah, but big. So let's do like biggest countries by size.
Yeah. I mean, Russia's massive, but there's not as many people.
So we got Russia, Canada, U.S., China, Brazil, Australia.
I think Russia and Canada, though, it's weird because it's a lot of, like, dead space more north.
Right.
Like, I'm sure there are people, there probably is people up there.
Russia's
but not a whole lot.
Huge.
Yeah, Russia's massive.
Oh, my God. Percent of land mass? Russia has 11% of the land mass. The next closest is Canada with 6.1%. Wait, China has 6.3% landmass? How the hell? U.S. is 6.1. Brazil is 5.6.
You tell me China's bigger than us?
Apparently.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand this.
Okay, we should end this. I don't trust Dash wandering around.
All right. Fun. I guess where were we going with that?
Oh, I was just saying that's why I hate, like, because, right, we can't do what Ecuador does and just shut down because not everyone is united here, like.
Right. Well, yeah, it's that's what I was going to say with big land masses. Like, we are split between democracy and Republican here. Getting everyone on board is very difficult. Russia and, like, China, you're talking communism. And
right.
So, like,
you're not fighting back.
they just rule you.
Yeah.
And look at Canada. Canada's moving towards communism quite significantly.
I saw an article. I don't know how true it was.
Do you remember what it said?
Yeah. It said they were thinking about arresting Justin Trudeau.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, that would make sense because he is definitely not running a democracy. All right, guys. I hope you got a little bit of value out of this. Pretty much what we're telling you is roughly 20% increase in living. It's right around a 20% increase in living now based on 2019.
Yeah.
So the question is, are you making 20% more today than you were 4 years ago? I mean, if you're making 40 G's then, you got to be making 50 G's now. More than that, right? No, that's 20%. Yeah.
That's 20%.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I can't imagine a whole lot of companies gave out $10,000 increases.
right.
Anyways.
Well, technically, that would have been a 25% increase. $10,000 on $40,000 a year. Would have been a 25% increase. So, only $8,000.
Still, I don't expect a company to increase someone's wage by $8,000.
Yeah.
How much is that an hour?
But that's just to cover. That's not to cover savings.
Right.
Either, you know.
Yeah, you're still not saving money with that. You're just not losing money.
Yeah, right. So, All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's what it costs to live. Yeah, not including. I don't believe that includes
Probably.
no savings. So, anyways, next week we're gonna discuss subject to loans with Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Is that next week for sure?
I'm not saying for sure, but hopefully next week is subject to.
In the next
loans
few
with Ryan.
weeks,
Yeah.
we'll discuss subject to.
And then following weeks to come, we're going to discuss buying a personal home, how much money you should have, how much you can actually afford, and good benchmarks to go off of. And that is why I didn't want to go too in depth on it today, because we'll do a full show on that.
Makes sense.
And then coming up, because I think it's fun, I want to do cost of living in other countries compared to the U.S.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
Do medical tourism, because healthcare is very expensive in the U.S. and we rank like 30th in healthcare.
Dude, it's fucking shitty as fuck.
Yes, so we're one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive, and we're ranked 30th.
I just had 2 family members go to the hospital, and they were like, "Oh, couldn't figure out what's wrong with you. Go home."
Yep. Yeah,
fuck?
it's wild. And then lastly, how the U.S. stacks up to other countries for living conditions,
Yeah.
Which I think would be fun. And these topics are all stemming off the current situation with high interest rates and the Federal Reserve printing oogles of money over the last 3 years.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the show, and we will catch you on the next one.
See ya.